see what's going on. Oh, yeah. Wearing my clean girl era shirt because we clean out here. Always clean. That's one thing that I'll always make sure that I have on lock is my hygiene. Hold up. This is going to be such a fuckboy thing to do, but my hair be... I think that's good. You know what? And if it's not good, fuck it. But yeah, that's one thing that I always make sure to have on lock is my hygiene. I think cleanliness is next to godliness. I sound like such a piece of shit saying that. That's just a quote from not Get Rich or Die Trying. Paid in Full. Such a great movie. So yeah, and so now I always gotta make sure I'm in my clean girl era. And no, I'm just looking at my leg. I want more tattoos. Because, I don't know, tattoos are just dope, but I just took my last one like a pussy. But I don't know, who knows. But you know what? We won't keep dwelling on that. Welcome back to another episode of The Mackin Show. We're at episode 23. Jordan, LeBron. We're at our Jordan LeBron episode. Yeah, and honestly, at this point, I know the first couple episodes, if anyone has been watching this long, I was talking about like, oh, it's the Mackin Show for right now. I maybe want to change the name. Who knows? It's been 23 times that I've came in here and said, welcome back to the Mackin Show. I think we're just going to have to keep it at the Mackin Show. I think it's official down pack. It's the Mackin Show. No, but it's been a good 23 episodes so far. It's been super fun. Had some fun interviews at the moment. Like, obviously I can talk to a wall, so I'm coming in here doing this shit. It's getting close to that time of the end of the year. Going to be back in New York, so hopefully get a couple like friend episodes in there. But as for 2024, I definitely want to... This will be a video dedication to myself. For 2024, I actually want to do some cool shit with this podcast. I want to try... I don't know how. I don't know who I'm going to have to contact, but I want to get cool guests. Because again, like this started as just kind of like me coming in here and learning this equipment. I'm the only one doing any of it. Like I'm the only one shooting it, editing it, coming in here and talking, coming up with shit, reaching out, hoping someone will see a DM. I mean, don't get me wrong. She was already big on TikTok, but it worked for Bobby Altoff. Like she reached out to Drake, just saying, and that's what we said it last episode. Khloe Kardashian, you are going to be my person. I'm going to keep pursuing you to be on this podcast. I think it'd be fun as hell. I think you're going to have a good ass time. Obviously, I fuck with you guys. So just saying, could help a guy out, but it would be fun. But no, I want to take 2024 serious with this. Obviously, again, like this is on the side because I have a job that is very important. I have a job that I'm grateful to have, and I want to, allocate all my time to that job because, I'm lucky enough to be able to be in this podcast studio and like just do my thing in here. So obviously, like, I never want to take that shit for granted. But no, 2024, I like how I just switched the legs, but same position, will be... I'm manifesting it now. It's going to be a good year. I don't know how, I don't know who, but it's going to be a good year. But no, I'm trying to think of like what I've been up to lately. Last weekend. So it was my friend Katie's birthday. I think I've shouted out Katie on this podcast before, but super amazing person. She's one of the first people I met out here. She runs a lot of content and creative marketing for Josh Richards' team. And no, she's kind of like one of also on top of Brianna, who I know I mentioned here, like that put me on heavy, has helped me out with a lot of stuff. Like when I was first starting out here, and it was her birthday, and it was a Shrek themed birthday party where we were to be dressed in Shrek characters, etc. And we were taking a party bus to medieval times. And I've been to a Renaissance festival before that had like mazes, and I've never been to a medieval times, and it was sick. And I didn't really know the gist of it. Like I figured, like obviously it's medieval. They're supposed to, you know, play up to that part, but I didn't know that like the food they serve was like medieval times food. You eat with your hands. Um, I mean, even like the tomato soup they gave before was in like this bowl with a handle, and like they don't give you a spoon. They're not none of that. Um, and yeah, I thought it was so cool. They were jousting. The medieval knights were taking part in like cool competitions and shit. And honestly, so there was I think 6 or 7 different knights, which meant like groups, like in the arena that we were at, like you sit in specific sections and your specific section is like your knight. Like we were, I think the black and white team or the black and white people. Oh, that sounded wrong. The black and white, like whatever. Like that's the colors our guy was wearing. Then there was yellow and red. There was red and black. There was green and whatever. But that was our team, and so obviously we had like a 1 in 6, 1 in 7 chance of winning. It was Katie's birthday that we were there for, so I don't think anyone thought anything of it. We just wanted to go. Our guy won. Like our team won, which I thought was so sick. Like it made it even better. But the food was like, right, you go to like things like this where stadium type food or whatever type food, the food was so good. Like they give you a big ass piece of chicken that has like a leg and like a breast. They give you a potato. They give you garlic bread, and I swear they gave one other thing, but maybe not. And then the dessert was like an eclair. They give you coffee after. Like low key, like judging by medieval times, like medieval people were eating right. Like no wonder they were fucking big. Like, and in that time, no wonder like being big meant power, and like, and by big I mean fat, like meant power, and like you were eating good. Cause like if it was anything like the meal I had, those people were eating good. Like that food was banging. It was super cool. Our guy won, and that was super. I definitely want to go back to a medieval times. I thought it was sick. It's like an hour away, so it wasn't like too bad. The party bus was awesome. And yeah, it's like party bus. Anything you add a party bus to is instantly going to get better. Like absolutely. Like, I remember a couple years ago, maybe a little longer than that. In the span of like 3 or 4 weeks, I swear it was that. Whatever. We went on 2 party buses for wine tours. One of them was for my friend Liam's birthday, and then another one was for, I forget what it was for, but just like, and the wine tours were also like 40 minutes away. We all could have drove, whatever. But you get a party bus, you're blasting music, you're, getting shit faced with buddies, you're chill. Like, adding a party bus makes everything so much better. And it just makes me, like, when I go home for July 4th, it wouldn't really make sense for Christmas. When I go home for July 4th next, I think I want to do something that involves a party bus, because they're just awesome. And the last time we went, Liam's birthday was a shit show. Like, Liam ended up in the lake. Kiko just threw up on herself and the bus. And there's a cake incident. But no, anything you add a party bus to is just going to make it infinitely better. So no, this was a good ass time. Got to go to Medieval Times. I thought it was awesome. I'm trying to think. Like, I know I mentioned on this podcast before Rivy and Caitlin and Brett, and Brett's actually been on this podcast before. We're dog sitting for them today and tomorrow because they are in Cabo. They live a very nice life, Caitlin and Brett. And they get to enjoy the pre-holiday in Cabo. So I'm hyped for them. They definitely deserve a fucking break for sure. Caitlin definitely won't take a break. I'm getting a FaceTime from my girlfriend, and it just kind of X'd out really quick. So, maybe she didn't mean to FaceTime me. Huh. I'm gonna text her though. Anywho, what did I say? Anywho, yeah, no, they deserve a break. God knows they're not going to take a break because they're worker bees. They're going to, I'm texting Caitlin like currently about work. So, Caitlin, go enjoy Cabo, please. But no, Christmas is coming up, and I'm excited for Christmas coming up because I personally think I'm such a good gift giver. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not on some like, I'm gifting you a car. I'm like, I'm making something. But like, I do believe out of people I know, I'm like, I'm up there for one of the best gift givers, in my opinion. Like, I do believe I'm a good gift giver, from like joking gifts that mean something to actual good gifts. I pride myself on giving gifts. I know supposedly everyone says I'm very, very hard to shop for, which I'm not saying that's wrong. I know I'm hard, because I equate me being hard to shop for to any text back. No, I equate me being hard to shop for just like the things I want are too expensive. Like, God forbid, I can't ask for a cool podcast equipment setup because we're talking about like thousands of dollars of shit. Obviously, I'm not asking anyone for that. I like every Cactus Jack shoe. Minimum $700 for a pair of shoes. No, I'm not asking anyone else to buy that for me. I'm going to buy that for me, but I'm not asking that for anyone else. I like off-white shit. And do I own it? No. But just like, this is the stuff I like that I would like to get. So no, I'm not going to ask somebody else to get it for me because it's expensive as hell. So I would just say, give me socks, underwear, maybe a shirt or sweatshirt. And that pisses people off because they're like, well, we want to get you something like actually. And I'm like, well, that's where we are. So hopefully I'll get better at being able to do that. But I definitely do believe I'm a good gift giver, and that makes me hype. No, another thing we just got into, sort of like, I know I was talking about it on the podcast during October time and Halloween. I really was more festive this year, which I love. Like last year, like since we moved out here, we weren't not festive, but it was just tough because everything was so busy. We were new out, like all this type of shit. I feel like we were way more festive this year. And sort of like on Halloween when I watched like a horror movie every single night, all this type of shit. I watched a different Christmas movie almost every night in December so far. Other than like your occasional, I think I might have ran back Elf a couple times and Home Alone. But no, I'm a big Christmas movie guy. I talked about it in the last couple podcasts. And I just recently saw it again 2 or 3 days ago. People are sleeping on Home Alone 3. Like, don't get me wrong. Home Alone 1 and 2, Macaulay Culkin, like, obviously that's like the go-to. That's goated Christmas movies of all time anyways. I'm not here to debate that. Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. But Home Alone 3 is good as fuck. Like, I watched that and I was like, wait, this is super entertaining. It's literally like the same type of shit, except the kid's a little more badass. Like, the people who were like chasing him were also a little more badass. It was like Christmassy. Like, I thought Home Alone 3 was good as hell. Good as fuck. And I definitely think that one should get a little more respect than it does, because I don't think it gets as much respect as it deserves. So no, I definitely watched that recently, and that was kind of a new thing, which was dope. Also, speaking of new shit, McDonald's coming out with like, this kind of came out, I swear, unless like it's been posted other places and I didn't hear about it. Like, it was like 2 or 3 days ago, McDonald's came out with like an announcement. They're like, yeah, we're making a new restaurant. We were like, what? And it's supposed to be a competitor to Starbucks and Dunkin', which I definitely think is a mistake. In terms of, do I think McDonald's will make good money off of these places? Probably. Is it going to make McDonald's money off of it? No. Is it going to be able to compete with Dunkin' and Starbucks as like coffee type places? No. But it's a cool concept where like the menu is super cool. They had like churro frappes, and like they had like weird types of coffees. They had like a couple different, like, it's weird that they had an entirely new menu, except for they still had McGriddles and McMuffins and shit like that, because it's definitely more of a breakfast centered place. It's called Cosmics. The idea of it's cool. Like, the reviews of it seem like, again, like, I love a good breakfast sandwich. I don't give a shit where, even if it's a freezer breakfast sandwich, I'm gonna eat it. So no, the idea of it is super cool. I love the name from like Cosmics, and obviously it comes from like Cosmic was the robot in the original like McDonald's cartoons and shit like that. So obviously it's like a real thing in the McDonald's universe. But no, I think it's gonna be super cool. Obviously, I think it'll do okay. I don't think nothing is gonna do Starbucks and Dunkin' numbers. That's just like if you're trying to, is someone here? I swear I just saw. Okay, I'm getting tweaked out. I think people are here. Yeah, nothing's gonna compete with Dunkin' and Starbucks in the moderate speed coffee business. Like that's just not gonna happen. Maybe a Tim Hortons. Maybe I think truthfully Tim Hortons would probably be it, and that's more Canada. But yeah, nothing's competing with Dunkin' and Starbucks. I'm sorry, but Cosmix is gonna be cool. They only have it in I know Texas for sure, and then I think like Illinois or somewhere like that. So as soon as they get one in California, I'm going to that shit. It's definitely going to be packed. But no, I definitely want to try it. Looks super cool. Cool idea. I'm McDonald's supporter regardless. People know this. I've always said it about McDonald's, and I'll say it about McDonald's until the day that I die. You can tell me McDonald's is not good. No, sorry. Back that up. You can tell me that McDonald's is not healthy. You cannot tell me that it's not good. If someone comes to me and is like, yeah, I don't eat McDonald's because it's not good, you're either lying to yourself, you made yourself think that for God knows what reason instead of just like agreeing that it's unhealthy, or you're a lunatic and you think you're better than everybody else. If you want to come to me and be like, yeah, I don't eat McDonald's because it's not healthy, I'm trying to do this, or I got medical reasons that you can't eat fast food, whatever, sure, that's great. Like me personally, I haven't had McDonald's in a good while because I'm trying to not eat like shit. Could I house down? You want to hear, this is going to be so embarrassing. You want to hear my McDonald's order at the height of my McDonald's eating? It was a large Big Mac meal. So Big Mac, large fries, large unsweetened iced tea. 2 McDoubles, 1 McChicken, and then some other menu item, whether it was a 10-piece McNugget, another McChicken. Like, that was truthfully my McDonald's order because McDonald's is so fucking good. No. So that's what I'll always say about it. You can tell me it's unhealthy. You cannot tell me it's not good. And that goes for all fast food except for Arby's. Arby's is trash. But everything else, Taco Bell, Wendy's, even I haven't eaten Burger King in 10 plus years, but even Burger King, like none of that. So that's my thought on that. I actually did see, speaking of burger places, it going crazy was they just came out with not just came out, but they just put an In-N-Out in, I don't know if it was Idaho or Iowa, but it was an 8-hour car lot, like drive-through wait for burgers and shit like that, which I think's crazy. Like, don't get me wrong. Like first off, hot take, In-N-Out is so just basic as fuck. Like, don't get me wrong. Is the burger good? Yes. Like, obviously, I've had many In-N-Out burgers. It's great. Everyone knows the fries are trash. There's really nothing that's, like, over the top about In-N-Out where, like, I would wait 8 hours for it. There's really not much over the top. Like, I don't know if I'd wait 8 hours for any food. Like, I would just go home, whatever. But that's crazy. I've waited in the In-N-Out lines before. I get it. But 8 hours is fucking crazy. I feel like the only place that I would do is if Shake Shack went because again, the smash burgers are a million times better. Shake Shack and Five Guys are light years ahead of any other fast food place, and I will die on that bed. Yeah, so I think that's absurd. Like, In-N-Out, they just have such a genius business method of, like, they just were cool in one location, kept to that for a while, then they expanded slightly, and then now obviously anywhere they go. Like, if they put an In-N-Out anywhere in New York, it's going to be over. It's going to be crazy. So yeah, In-N-Out's there. I definitely think Shake Shack's still number one. Speaking of, I'm waiting for him to come to LA with it, but Mike Malak, Hey Big Mike, the YouTuber, he's always done, well, not always, but he's been doing burger reviews for a little while, and it's because I figured it had to be something like this, and it was that he created his own burger restaurant called 1010 Burger, which honestly, low-key, cool name, short and sweet, easy, like, it has a meaning, because he always rated something 1 out of 10, and his is a 10 out of 10. And it's made just how he likes it, with like the pickles cut the right way. It's a smash burger with special sauce, etc. Every pop-up it's done fucking great. So I definitely want to try 1010 Burger. So Mike, if you can, make 1010 Burger happen in LA, because I get it. I know you did it in Riyadh, you did it in Chicago. you're doing it at Basil in Miami. I get it because stuff's happening there. I understand. It's a perfect place to introduce. Like, there hasn't been any big events in LA, but just bring it to, you have people in LA that definitely want to try 1010 Burger, so just bring that shit to LA. But yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of burger talk in the last like 10 minutes. But no, so that's my take on burger talks and McDonald's having its new food coming out, honestly. And speaking of food, we had our company Christmas party 2 nights ago, and it was at Catch Steak, and it was like, it's the second one I've been to with them, which is crazy to me that, and I want to knock on wood because I enjoy every second of it, that it's crazy to me that I've almost been here for 2 years. Like, I've almost been working here for 2 years. Like, that blows my mind to think that, like, again, when I first came in and like was able to interview and all this type of shit, I was like over the moon. I was like, holy shit, like, this is crazy. And it's still like the stuff we do is still crazy, but to think I've been here for almost 2 years is like wild to me. Like, it's been a ride. It's been awesome. I can't wait to see where else it goes. Like, the brands they're coming out with will be awesome. Like, yeah, I've definitely been dealt a very lucky hand. A lot of hard work has gone into it, but dealt a very lucky hand with it. So no, I'm hyped to see what comes next. But 2 fucking years is crazy. It hasn't been actually 2 years yet, but almost 2 years is fucking crazy. Anywho, back to it. We had our Christmas dinner party, and it's a Catch Steak, and obviously, like, as I've said about myself, I'm not someone who can just go to Catch Steak on their own or like random Tuesday night, let's go to Catch Steak. So obviously I'm always excited for any time they're like, yo, let's go to Catch Steak or a nice dinner at all. Snow is dope. You get there, they're passing around hors d'oeuvres, like fucking beef tenderloin on a stick, mini chicken parm, sushi, this, just like so much amazing fucking food. Catch Steak's awesome. And it just makes me feel like nice. I feel upper class for a second. I feel nice. So no, the entirety of the food was great. My favorite's always probably the pasta, Gigellini. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's basically their like spicy rigatoni version. And their mashed potatoes. Their mashed potatoes literally look like butter. So no, it was super dope, and it's just always funny that it's just how I know I'm white trash, because like I'm just still so not used to that like upper class food, and some of that upper class food I just still don't like caviar, like this and that. Like, no, some of it I've came around to. Like, when we were at the Christmas party last year, I sat next to Greg, and I was just talking about how I don't like seafood, and he's like, no, you're like, so he was making me try every fucking piece of seafood that they had there, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And he's like, see, you like seafood. I was like, see, no, I like this seafood. Catch Steak type seafood is not your everyday seafood that someone like me would get at any restaurant I'm going to. Catch Steak is that upper echelon. That's that good shit. And it was good. So like, shout out Catch and Greg for making me try them. But no, there's definitely, it just instilled in me, I'm definitely still a little white trash for like super upper echelon food. Again, I'm more of a let's go get burgers, or let's go to Barney's Beanery or Saddle Ranch or something like that. So when Catch Steak comes around, I'm like over the moon. Like, it's still not, I'm not used to that at all. So it's still really fucking cool. So no, the company dinner was great. Since last year's Christmas dinner, the team is like doubled plus in size. So it was so hectic. And really quick, fancy restaurants, do something about your bathrooms, because the lighting in there was atrocious. And I get it was on purpose. It's supposed to be very dimly lit, look very classy. I literally almost couldn't see where I was going at all. And then I look up and I got scared because I forgot in nice restaurants there are bathroom attendants. And I realized they were playing Day and Night by Kid Cudi over the loudspeaker, and I was like singing it along, blah, blah, blah. And then I look up and just the dude's looking at me. I was like, oh shit. And I was like, damn, like I felt awkward. So that's my beef with fancy restaurant bathrooms. That's it. But, what's it called? No, the dinner was great. Love our team. Like, always have a shit ton of fun, and it's just been cool to see, what's happened over the last 2 years. But no, that was good. I'm trying to think what Bleacher. I think it was Bleacher Report or Complex came out with its top like news reporters and like or media personalities. I think it was top 20. I want to say. And I was actually surprised at the list a little bit, if we're being completely honest. Like I guess it's hard to go back and forth because like he was on First Take, or no, he was on FS1, is on First Take, has his podcast, etc. But Shannon Sharp being number one, I was like, wow. Like I truthfully, just because of who he is and who he's been for a while, I figured Stephen A has to be number one. Stephen A is definitely number one. And he was number two, so it's not really like it's that big of a thing. But Shannon Sharp was number one. Stephen A was number two. Number three, I think, was Pat McAfee. Shaq, I think, was 4. Someone was 5. I think Chuck was 6. Charles Barkley. And then so on and so forth. Travis and Jason Kelce were like 20th, which I was just like, huh. Again, I wasn't putting them at 1 through 5, but 20th, I was like, oh, I figured like because of how crazy their podcast has gone, I figured they'd be up a little bit. Oh, Cameron and Mace were high up on that list, which was awesome because that's just like they're literally you're taking someone from just like New York as it gets and putting them on and talking about shit, and I thought that was awesome. So no, surprised by that list a little bit, and not a bad surprise. I was just more like, oh shit, okay, so that person's one. So shout out Shannon Sharp for being number one. I'm not knocking it and disagreeing with it per se, but no, between him and Stephen A, like those are my 1-2s. Oh, fuck. I'm definitely tired. Yeah, it's like my 8th yawn. I have not been getting a shit ton of sleep recently. Boom. But I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I'm so hyped because this podcast knows how I feel about Shane Gillis. I've talked about it before. He's my favorite comic out right now. Comedy clearly, like, and I don't know if it's just like it never popped up. Because again, I've always been into comedy. I loved Comedy Central roast. Like I loved watching stand-up Netflix specials, or just like I'd type it in and watch them on YouTube. Like from shows like South Park, except like SNL, like old SNL. Like I've been into comedy for a while, but for some reason recently, I felt like it's just been on overboard, which I could not be happier about because the Netflix is a joke fest. They did it last year. We went to go see like Amy Schumer or something like that. This year is fucking ridiculous. Like, let me see if bro. Like, I think that might be Shane. I just want to, bro. So we're talking about within like a week, they have Shane Gillis, John Mulaney, Cat Williams, Daniel Tosh, Chris Rock, Jon Stewart, Bill Burr, Mark Normand, Ali Wong, who else? Kevin Hart. They're doing a roast of Tom Brady. Like, bro, that's insanity. Oh, I just realized I have to absolutely buy the roast of Tom. Oh, Jesus Christ, $1,000 a ticket. $660 a ticket. $185 a ticket. That's not too bad. What about these? Floor is only $230. Yeah, I might have to do that. But Netflix's Joke Festival is like all the people they have coming is insane. Like some of the biggest comics, like within the same. And I'm not saying that's not like they've probably maybe done it another time, but it's just crazy. All the people I love to see. If you don't like stand-up comedy is the fucking best. So I'm hype. Absolutely. Now that I saw Tom Brady, I'm definitely going to that. But Shane Gillis' stand-up at the Greek Theater, 100% is what I need to go to because he's my number one like funniest person right now. So I'm hyped to see that. That's not going to be till May. So we're quite a little whiles away. We're a good 6 months away from that. But no, I'm trying to think what else I had. Oh my God. This one's going to be fun for a nice little wrap up for me to talk about because I just saw a TikTok of it. Typical, like one of your viral foodie chef rating foods, whatever guy. Like Wegmans opened up a Wegmans in Brooklyn, New York. And it's been going viral a little more recently. I'm just like, people are like, oh my God, this place called Wegmans is the #1 grocery store in America. No fucking shit. Wegmans is by far the number one grocery store in America. And at this point, I have been to Ralph's, Gelson's, Trader Joe's, your Targets and your Walmarts, your Weiss's, your Costco's, your Sam's Clubs. I've been to your Kroger's. I've been to your, I'm trying to think, even Albertsons. Like, Wegmans is I've been to your Whole Foods. Like, nothing competes with Wegmans at all. It doesn't. From the buffet section in the food, to their sushi, to their pre-cooked meals, to their subs. Hello. That Wegmans subs competes with Jersey Mike's and Subway 100% in terms of just like Jersey Mike's more consistency, size, great. And just they have everything in the world, grocery store, like grocery wise. Like, nothing competes with Wegmans, never has been. It started in Rochester, like upstate New York, then came down to Johnson City, Binghamton, where I live or where I'm from. And yeah, there's no grocery store in America competes with Wegmans. I will die on that hill. Yeah, Wegmans is top tier. Wegmans will always be number one. Like, I miss Wegmans so much. I don't want it to come out west because I don't want people out here to have it. I want it to be an East Coast thing. I want it to stay a Northeast thing. And so far it has. They've been doing well. So shout out to Wegmans. Number one grocery store ever. Nothing will ever compete with it. On that note, I'm ending it with that. Because it was a good-ass episode. It was a good-ass thing to end on. Shout out that Wegmans. But no, that's episode 23. That's our LeBron Jordan episode. I fucking love doing these. I'm going to keep doing them. Our next episodes are probably going to be back home because I'm bringing some of my equipment. Maybe have a friend episode. We'll see. But no, 2024 is going to be a good year. I'm calling it now. Fun-ass, like, people to come on, conversations, ton of shit. But like I always say, whoever's been watching so far, appreciate the fuck out of it. You guys are awesome, and it's going to get better from here. I'm calling it. But until next time, peace.